There's something about visiting and exploring the Mississippi River that inspires. The culture and history of a place is experienced through its artistry and craftsmanship, allowing you a glimpse of a small river town or the inner workings of a metropolis along the river. River Travel Media is exploring people who call the Mississippi River home. Come for a visit and find out more at rivertravelmagazine.com.
I work the Mississippi River, and I treat it with reverence. Depending on arguments, it's the fourth largest river on Earth, which gives it some bragging rights, in my opinion. There's a lot of different cultures along the river, based on, who settled it or where they came from and stuff that I find super interesting. I also like the fact that running into the amount of people going up and down the river. I did a pop-up art gallery in Savannah, Illinois a couple years ago. And in the course of doing that, I talked to people from 6 continents traveling up and down the river, which I thought was totally interesting. And in my opinion, I think that group of people was totally overlooked.
Henry Matthiessen III is Stone Art Studio. Is there art everywhere you look, Henry?
Absolutely. Everything is art, in my opinion.
What's some of your favorite things to shoot?
I'm a landscape photographer. That's my A game. I do portraits. Think more of Andy Warhol, though. I'm not the one, to sit there and say, make you say cheese and stuff. I'm looking at attributes from the days when I used to draw portraits and stuff to capture your soul. And it's not with just having you sit there. I kind of work at you. I have a different approach, I think. Landscape, though, is my overall umbrella photography, if you will. Living in the driftless region in the Mississippi Valley, I'm very fortunate to be in the situation here. And in the photography, I lean it heavily into a romanticism type of photography, getting the clouds involved and all that drama and motion. And if I can make the insignificance of man prevalent within my picture, I go after that.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that with the Mississippi Backwater Tour that you offer.
Sure. My photography tours are mainly geared at sunrise and sunset, taking advantage of the best lighting. I like to go down into the backwater areas of the river, and I like to be in those regions as we get to sunset, and then maybe an hour after, and then reverse it for sunrise. I like to be on location well over an hour before sunrise, because you get these lighting scenarios, and if you're placed right, you can grab all that into reflections in the river, and it just totally enhances the picture even more.
Henry, the stuff you're talking about sounds magical. Do you have a favorite spot?
A couple of my favorite places to go would be on the Illinois side, there's Blanding's Landing. It's around the Galena area. And then on the Iowa side, there's the Green Island backwaters, where it just opens up. It's just an incredible area. You get off the bluffs, and it's just this huge backwater area, which just treats you to this big sky being down low like that.
It sounds like the views there are just gorgeous and breathtaking.
I like to go big. If I'm up high, I'm generally shooting panorama pictures, and in this area, that would be Chestnut Mountain has a point called Grand View, which is just a big sweeping view where the river is carving into the Illinois side. So you're standing up above 300-foot bluffs. But then you're looking off into Iowa, and the river drags from that side. And, you're talking, the river at that spot is 2 or 3 miles wide. So it dragged way into that county on the other side. Bellevue's right there. So it just gives you this incredible vista. And it also, if you know what you're looking at, demonstrates the power of the river as a geological force over time.
I see that you offer guided tours on the Mississippi backwaters. Is it possible to teach somebody to have that eye that they can catch and take great pictures?
Yes. I've spent incredible amounts of time in the outdoors. I go on road trips several weeks long where I'm out there, not just in the Mississippi Valley, but across the United States, mostly west. And there is a formula for sunset. There's a formula for sunrise that you actually once I explain it to you, You see the light bulbs go on in the people. That there's an upper atmospheric lighting where the low clouds are not lit, so you get this three-dimensional drama going on. The sun goes down and it underlights the low clouds, but the upper clouds are white. There's all kinds of crazy things going on with the lighting and the distance the sunlight has to travel through the atmosphere. So these are the things I talk about when I work shoulder to shoulder with my people.
Henry, it sounds to me that the process is almost as important as a location.
Part of the photography process, and what one needs to think about when they are making photos is we're taking a three-dimensional visual, putting it in the camera and putting it on paper, which becomes a two-dimensional plane. So the object of the artist then, along with delivering drama and emotion, is to get that two-dimensional plane looking as three-dimensional as possible, whether it's using color and how the sunlight hits the clouds, perspective, leading lines. There's a lot that goes into an outstanding composition. And I owe a lot of that to my art training. I drew and painted landscapes before I really delved into it with a camera.
Experience the Great American Road Trip and take a ride on the Great River Road. Explore the people, places, and culture of the Mississippi River. Visit rivertravelmagazine.com.